175. Day one journey, episode 1175. Back in my apartment. I have a new table, new chair. My best friend gave me these things before he left Thailand. Well, but for today's episode, is it cheating if I look at the answers? Wow. This is a good question. This is a very, very good question. So of course the fast answer, the immediate answer is it depends. If this is the test, of course you're cheating if you look at the answers. But at least in my opinion, most of life is not the test. It's the practice, it's the getting better, it's the learning, it's the practicing, it's the training, is experiencing new things. Or in this aspect of learning, it's about seeing more and more examples, understand more examples. Well, so why do I share this thing with you today? I started watching, doing a course that my friend recommended, a friend that also learned with me, same university, and he really recommended this course as preparation for job interviews as a software engineer. And so all the questions is sort of riddles, but you solve them in a code. You program the solution, but the tricky part is actually coming up with a solution. There's an actual problem. You need to actually solve it. Now, the course is 36 hours. I'm not sure I'm going to finish the course before I start applying to new jobs. I don't think it's necessarily necessary. And this is something that I think we miss sometimes. Our energy is limited. There's more things that we want to do. If we do more of one thing, we have less energy doing something else, etc., etc. So this is a bit all over the place. So let's look at an example. So I see a question. So today I saw a question, a riddle. And I have the tendency of, well, let's see if I can do it on my own. And I actually like riddles, but I also know myself, so I can get stuck on a riddle for hours. So one option, I can just look straight to the answers and move on. Look at the answers, meaning just watching the video, just continue watching the video and see the solution. Or doing it on my own until I get stuck and fight with it and then move on. What is better? Well, this is a question that I really, I spent a lot of energy on when I studied computer engineering, and the answer is not obvious. So both of the extremes are not good, but I'll highlight my recommendation, at least what I'm trying to do with myself. And on a separate note, I have a good friend that asked me some questions when he was doing his degree, and he told me that my tips, he actually passed them over to other friends of his, and they were really helpful. So I guess what I'm saying right now, it might be even helpful for you. So, and I'm being very specific, I'm talking specifically about computer science and mathematics and physics, less about, I don't know, things that I didn't learn. So, one extreme is, okay, I'm doing it on my own and that's it. And the other extreme is I'm jumping to the solution. So for me, sometimes I feel the ego inside. I want to do it on my own. But I think that the smartest part of me reminds me that I'm just learning. I need to understand something. I don't necessarily need to do it on my own. But the other extreme, just looking at the answers without trying to think, can be a little bit, I guess, too passive. So what I did was this, I was presented with a question. I paused the video, I let myself a little bit think about it. Once I had an idea, or I didn't have an idea, which I took maybe 5 minutes, even less, I just kept on watching. And when I was watching the solution, I stopped and I made sure I understand. So this is the balance that I'm sort of trying to have when I'm learning, and especially given I'm not in school right now. I don't need to finish this course. I have a job interview and I don't really know what they're going to ask me, and I'm not necessarily going to be I'm not going to be examined about everything. So strategizing my energy and time is super crucial, because I'm not in school right now. I have other things that I want to do. I can keep on working and learning for 2 months, or maybe I can work already in these 2 months. Energy management, time management is also very important. That's why I'm trying not to push myself to get all the questions right on my own. First, I also understand that I'm in a learning process. I'm not supposed to know them on my own, just like that when I'm learning. But more than that, my goal is not to, this is maybe the clearest thing that I can say today. My goal is not to solve all the questions on my own. My goal is, for example, to have successful interviews. Meaning, my goal is to be able to solve any question that they're going to present me in the interview. So, how do I do that? How do I achieve that? I want to know as many examples that I can. But of course, the quantity is not over the quality. I actually need to understand the problems and the solutions. So just skimming through the answers, this is sometimes tricking myself as if I know the answer. Because I sort of know the question, I'm trying not to lie to myself with sort of know it. So I go back to it. I make sure that I know how to solve it. But solving it on my own from the beginning, no, it's not my goal. It can be an assessment, it can be sort of useful as a test. But right now, I'm not testing myself. I trust the process that I did in different areas, and I try to collect as many examples that I can, not compromising the quality. And yes, I can look at the answers. And yes, I don't think it is cheating. It can be a big part, fundamental part of learning. And if on the other hand, I'm battling with a riddle for so long, I can reach a burnout. And then I challenge, not all the time, but I challenge myself to a point. And then I see the answer. But then I dive in and make sure that I understand. And this is, in my opinion, the biggest mistake people were doing learning in my university. Computer science, mathematics, physics. What was the mistake? I'm glad you asked. I'll say it again. The mistake was seeing the solution for a problem that you didn't manage to solve and just skimming through it and not making sure that you fully understand the solution, not diving in, having not enough patience to diving into the solution and just keep on to the next question. This is, in my opinion, one man's opinion, the biggest mistake people did while studying engineering in the Technion. This is the university I did my degree in. Have a good day, day one. See you tomorrow.